This is the gospel according to the IRS, Breaking Points and Church Financial Updates. And now, here's the authority, Dr. Michael Chitwood and Breaking Points.
This is Michael Chitwood, and today we're going to be talking about charitable contributions. So I want you to grab your pad and pen, and this is Breaking Points today, and this is some news that you can share with your members of the church. You know, it's always important for the pastor to know a little bit more than the members of the church know. And most of the time, they highly regard you and respect you in most cases, and that's a good thing. But I would like to talk to you today about what makes a contribution, a charitable contribution, deductible for your members. Now you say, what in the world has that got to do with my church? Well, it's this simple. You have to know what comes in as a charitable contribution so you can record it and give them proper credit. And they, the members and non-members, must know what they can deduct and what they cannot deduct. See, I've always found this out. Understanding is a whole lot better than a misunderstanding. A lot of people want understanding and knowledge of a subject. Even the Bible tells you, for lack of knowledge, you will be destroyed. It also talks about that we must understand that ignorance of the law is no excuse. So it's not what you know that's going to hurt you today. It's what you don't know. So grab your pad and pen. Let's get started with Breaking Points. And by the way, welcome to Breaking Points today, and thank you so much for joining our program. We appreciate you being a member of Clergy Network of America and Clergy Safe. And by the way, if you're not a member, I'd recommend that you join up today through our bookstore program. If you'll just simply look at our online bookstore, we've got an entire shopping mall there, so to speak. I think that's the proper terms for it. If you'll just go to cmtc.org, you can get right into the bookstore and you can see all of our product line of anything that you need that will help you in your ministry. And by the way, if you're a member of Clergy Safe and Clergy Network of America, you receive substantial discounts on any of the merchandise, any of the talking points or breaking points that you want to purchase. Just let us know. We'll be glad to help you with that. The subject today is contributions. What makes a charitable contribution tax deductible? When can you deduct it? I'd like to go through a couple of things. Let me read something to start with here. Understanding the law that regulates tax deductible contributions is essential to the ministry, essential to your church. And when I say ministry there, I'm talking about your church. Contributions made to it by its supporters, your members, and outside partners. Now, you don't have to be a member to make a contribution to any 501c3. Just look at all the televangelists and television programs that people send money in. Did you know that it's been proven that most members of a church give to 8 different charitable organizations? I think that that's good, but I think it's not so good when they're not supporting the house where they're fed with the most of their income for the contributions that they're going to give to the church. If you're giving more to an outside ministry than you're giving to your church, then you've got a problem. I'll tell you this. You may find it a little bit difficult when you're sick or when you're in need to call that televangelist on the phone and get him to come pray for you. So I'm a big supporter of supporting the church. I believe your tithes and offerings belong in the storehouse where you're fed. And I know that you know that, and I just like to encourage you. Sometimes you just need to rethink your position. I'm talking about what's legal and what's not legal today. It's made by your supporters, and guess what? That's the lifeblood of the support of your organization. Anybody that tells you that you can make it without income in your church, you need to realize something. Your church may be tax exempt and may be nonprofit, but I'll guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, you have to make a profit to stay in business. And whether you want to admit it or not right now, you can admit it in private. Your church is nothing but a business. The IRS says it's a business. And they say simply run it right, comply with all the laws of the land so you can stay in business. What's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. Now, as we talk about this subject today, I want you to make a note. What can you deduct as a charitable contribution? What can you deduct as a charitable contribution? That's the first component. There are 6 things that I'd like to address with you today. The 6 components of what you can deduct as a charitable contribution. Now, you need to know this for the incoming transaction side, but you also need to know it for the member side. Post this on the bulletin next time. Number 1, if someone gives you cash, check, credit card, or money order, that's all number 1, cash, check, credit card, or money order, they may deduct that as a charitable contribution as long as there's no strings attached to that contribution. Number 2, any insurance policies that they donate to the ministries may be deducted. Number 3, stocks and bonds, mutual funds, any kind of marketable securities be deducted. Number 4, any personal property that you care to give to the organization. Now, the organization cannot place a value on that, but the person giving it can declare their own value. In other words, consult your own tax preparer so you can find out just exactly how much you can deduct. Number 5, if you decide to donate real estate, any real property, real estate, to your church or to your nonprofit organization. And number 6, basically and virtually anything with an asset that has a value. Any asset that you care to deduct, you can make sure that you have a deduction for that under 170 small c of the Internal Revenue Code. Now, here's what's important about this lesson today. There's many things that you can deduct on a contribution. I've given you 6 things. Tomorrow on this program, I'm going to talk about who can deduct and when they can deduct. So we're talking about what, when, and how, or when, and that will give you the components of a charitable contribution. Until tomorrow, this is Michael Chitwood, and I will see you on Breaking Points.
Breaking Points gives you the latest IRS updates and tax law. Pastor, if the IRS came to your church today, what would you say? If you really want your house of worship in order, call 1-800-345-9117.